What's going on, guys? Cameron back again from Attack on Anime, here to bring you Berserk episode 3 through 5 review. I've been behind them for a few weeks because I've just been really busy the past few Fridays, but I got the chance to watch these episodes, and episode 3 is really simple to explain. Episode 3, we find out Guts' goal is to kill all these apostles that he's calling them. And the first one we meet is the leader of this dog mansion with all these crazy demon dogs that keep attacking Guts. And it led to just some really cool action scenes and just some really intense creepy ones. And if you saw the episode, you know I'm talking about that horse. That horse had to be the most creepy, horrifying thing I've seen in an anime for a while. That rape horse literally was trying to rape Farnest, and it was intense and just it was cringeworthy just to look at. We find out in this episode that Farnest cannot see Puck because Farnest has such a rigid view of the world, such a realistic view at least. She can't even imagine just like anything that as far out as like spirits or fairies or stuff like that. So she couldn't see Puck until she started to see the dogs start attacking and she got possessed. Like, Farnest was just taking it this episode, and she started to question her own faith. We knew she was always a religious woman, but in this episode, she started to question her own faith. And it leads into the next episode, episode 4, where we see that it's taking its toll on her, that she doesn't really know what to believe anymore. She wants to believe in God and this higher being, but she's just like, if God existed, then why would he have let me get attacked by all these demon dogs in the last episode? So it kind of makes sense why she would be feeling that way inside. At the end of episode 3, a king dies and another army comes in to attack that kingdom as soon as that king dies. And that just leads us into the next episode where we find out that the girl that went missing is a former friend of Guts, maybe a former lover. We haven't gotten everything about her yet. He gets these visions that are warning him of things that are going to happen and giving him clues to where they're going to happen at. We meet Rickard, Erica, and Godo, who are pretty much Guts' adoptive family. Godo is pretty much like the father figure in Guts' life. Rickard and Erica are friends of his that were friends with him and Casca, the girl that went missing. And Rickard was like vigorously looking for her for years while Guts was gone, because Guts has been gone for 2 years trying to fight and just run away from life in general. But Godo fixes Guts' sword, and I just love seeing that like father-son type of bonding with them as he's admiring the new sword, and he's just like, you did a good job, Godo, I love this sword, and he's giving props to him. So when Godo passes away, I feel like that's gonna be a really huge thing to Guts. Like, I can't wait to see how that affects him and the rest of his adoptive family. Guts gets a tip that the Tower of Conviction is where Casca's gonna be at, so that's his new target and where he's headed towards. And we find out that Casca is moving with some immigrants that are being like relocated to a different location. And we meet Mozgus, who is just a guy who hides behind religion, but he's just pure evil. This guy uses a breaking wheel to punish people that try to attack him because he's just so evil. He's killed so many people's families and doesn't even care about it. We see that he throws people into a torture room that he claims are sinners. So it's just like we can see that this guy is just evil and hiding behind religion to justify the messed up things that he does to people. And in episode 5, we meet Ishidoro, the boy from the bar in the first episode that Guts saved from these guys who are about to attack him. And we see that he's a pretty smart kid. He tricks these bandits into eating this poison food because they would always rob him. So he poisoned the food with apparently like bee poison. So it only paralyzed them, but it didn't kill them. And then as he's being jumped by this other group from another village, Guts comes in and saves him yet again. And he's in such admiration of Guts that he wants to follow Guts. But Guts is just like, kid, you don't want anything to do with me. This is not what you need. And also in this episode, we learn a little bit about how the soldiers in Farnest's army view her. Because in her position, a female has always been traditionally the one to hold that position. So her soldiers only really see her as a figurehead and not really of anyone of real importance. So they don't really respect her. And we find that out through Jerome, who is apparently having sex with a whore who he wants to marry. And this whore is taking care of Casca because she picked up Casca along the way and realized Casca is not all there in the head. Like, she can't even speak full sentences. It just seems like she's not really there, like she's mentally ill. So Luca takes care of her like a little sister along with other kids who she splits her wealth among. So she's a prostitute, but she's doing it for a good reason, to take care of the kids in the village. And she's especially taking care of Casca because if Casca was just wandering around by herself, someone would try to rape her, because obviously in this anime she's a very beautiful woman, but like I said, she's not all there in the head. And also in this episode, Luca says something about a brand on Casca's chest. So I'm wondering, is it the same kind of brand as the one that Guts has? And is the brand the reason that she's like kind of acting this way, like she's not all there in the head, like she just has some sort of mental illness? But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.